Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my answers for the questions in the TBR book tag. I found this book tag in a blog post and the link for that blog post will be found down in the description so that you can go and check the post if you're interested. Also, all the 12 questions in the tag will be available down in the description. Do let your answers in the comments below because I'd like to know them. Without any further ado, let's get into the questions now. Question number 1. How do you keep track of your TBR list? I try to make TBR videos every month and that's like my priority while it comes to reading always, but there are certain times during which certain books from the TBR don't go well with the mood that I have while reading. I'm not a mood reader. I try to pick up books in any way and just read them as it is, but TBRs help me to give a sense of what I'm planning to read. Also, apart from the monthly TBR videos which I make in the channel, I also have some TBR lists personally which I don't publish anywhere, like yearly TBRs. That is, there are certain books which I try to get to by the end of the year. I try to include them in the upcoming TBR videos so that I'll get to them without missing them due to other reasons. Also, apart from this, I keep some TBR lists in order to be read during certain seasons. For example, during summer, I like to finish a big chunk of my reading because my mood is not that great when it comes to a colder climate which exists for like 2 to 3 months in Chennai. So I try to do a lot of my reading in summer itself, and that's how I keep track of my TBR list. Question number 2. Is your TBR mostly print or ebook? My TBR is mostly print. That is, I like to buy physical books and add them to my TBR rather than just making TBR lists of books which I don't own. Even when I make TBR lists of books which I don't own, I try to buy them as physical copies because that gives me a sense to read them a bit more rather than just having them as digital copies as audiobooks and ebooks. I do love listening to audiobooks a lot more, but physical books, the feel that is given by physical books is always much more greater, and also it cannot be replaced by any other format of books if you ask me, any time in the world. Also, I do like collecting books, so definitely in any time or any part of my life, a major portion of my TBR list is going to be ebooks or print for this question. Question number 3. How do you determine which book to read from your TBR next? Now, the answer for this one is also very easy for me. Always what I do is I have certain books that go with the climate for me or the season for me, and most of my reads are seasonal except when it comes to summer, because during summer I'll be able to read anything. But most of the time what happens is I just have a look at my bookshelf, and whichever book feels compelling to me and which calls to me, I just go forward and add it to my TBR for the month. Mostly I try to stick with my monthly TBRs and read as much as I can within the TBR itself and then move on to other books. But there are also other times during which I don't always focus totally on the TBR itself, because my TBR is always composed of the physical books that I own. But apart from them, I like to read in different formats like ebooks and audiobooks as well. That's how I manage to read a lot more than an average person can. So it's always like this, and I do like to just pick up a book from my bookshelf and start reading it because that's always the best way for me, and it has worked out always. Question number 4. A book that has been on your TBR the longest. One of the books which has been in my TBR the longest is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. You can see the book here. I bought this over 2 years back and I have not finished it yet. Okay, I've tried reading it twice, but I've not been able to finish it. But I'm going to try and listen to the audiobook and just follow it along in the physical copy because I have found the audiobook in my subscription. Also, I don't want to make that book stay for a longer time. It has a really beautiful spine. Okay, it is yellow and very beautiful, but the first 2 times I tried reading that book, it wasn't that much engaging for me. That's one of the main reasons why I didn't continue with it, but I do think that I'll be able to read it soon, and it is one of those books which has been sitting on my TBR pile for a very long time. Question number 5. A book that you recently added to your TBR list. This is also a very easy answer for me, and it is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I've been seeing this book all over for almost 3 to 4 months now. I've been wanting to read this ever since October or November in 2020, and I've not been able to get my hands on a copy yet. It is available for pre-order right now, if I'm not wrong, in the paperback version. It's a bit expensive than normal paperbacks which I buy, but this is one book which is definitely high on my TBR pile, and it is one of the books that I've recently added to my TBR. I also think that I'll be reading this pretty soon because some people say that it's a contemporary with fantasy elements, and some people say that it's a fantasy with contemporary elements. I'm not even sure if it's young adult or adult, because I've seen multiple people talk about it, and some of them say that it's adult and some of them say that it's young adult. I've not looked it up yet that clearly, but I'm definitely sure that this is one of the books that I've recently added to my TBR list. Question number 6. A book on your TBR list strictly because of its beautiful cover. Okay, I have actually a physical copy of this book, and it's nearly been 2 years since I bought it. I've tried reading this twice, but I've not been able to finish it at all. I've not DNF'd it mainly because I just love the cover of this book, and Neil Gaiman has blurred about this book in the back cover, and it is Black Leopard Red Wolf by Marlon James. It's an adult high fantasy which is grimdark as well. It's a trilogy, but the thing about this trilogy is that it's the same story but delivered from 3 different points of view. The first point of view itself was very confusing because the language in this one is very bizarre. Okay, I've tried reading it twice, and the second time I was able to push myself through half the book, but after that I was not able to because it was very jarring in many ways for me, and I did not enjoy it that much while I read it for the first time. But the second time I was able to understand the flavor of the story and how it was headed towards. So this is one book which is definitely on my TBR because of the reason of its cover itself. Just look how beautiful this cover is, and I'm going to try and finish this year. Let's just wait and see. Question number 7. A book on your TBR that you never plan on actually reading. Actually, there is no such book in my bookshelf, because if I'm not interested in a book, no matter what happens and no matter how many people talk about it, I'll definitely not buy it and add it to my physical TBR because I don't like wasting money. And obviously I do buy a lot of books, and I don't want to pile my bookshelf with books which I'll not read. So there's no book in my TBR pile, my physical TBR pile, that I'm sure that I'll not read. But there are certain books which I have in my audiobook subscription which I'll definitely not read. There are like multiple books like that, and I cannot just pick up a certain book from it because audiobooks for me is any audiobook can be read by me in any time. I don't plan them as such when just like when it comes to physical books. Audiobooks I just go with the whim and pick them up and read. So there's no particular book which I will not read from my TBR. Question number 8. An unpublished book on your TBR that you're excited for. The answer for this one is very easy for me. I actually have 2 books. The first one is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare, and the next one is Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. Both of these are second books or final books to a series. Okay, Rule of Wolves is the final book in the Nikolai duology, and Chain of Iron is the second book in the Last Over series. I'm currently reading Chain of Gold, and it's really good. And the second one, Rule of Wolves, is something which I'm very much expecting because it's said to be the finale for the Grisha series, which is like one of my all-time favorite series. These 2 books are like very high on my TBR list of books that I need to buy that have not been published yet. I'm sure that I'm going to pre-order these 2, and I'll try to read them as soon as they come out. Let's just wait and see when I'll be able to get my hands on them, because these are the 2 most anticipated reads of mine for the entirety of 2021. Question number 9. A book on your TBR that basically everyone has read but you. The answer for this one is also very easy, and it is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is definitely one of those books which I'm very much interested in reading. It's a adult romance that is a standalone. Okay, I definitely do want to read this book because I've heard only very good things about this, and most of the booktubers whom I follow on the internet and book bloggers, bookstagrammers, everyone has read this book and they are raving about this all the time. Even some of my subscribers, you guys, have read this one and said that it is really good in many ways. I'm trying to read a lot more romance books this year, so this is one of those books which is in my priority list at the top. Question number 10. A book on your TBR everyone recommends you. One of those books which is not in my physical TBR is this book called The Silent Patient. Okay, many of you guys have been asking me to read and review this, but I'm not that much interested in this one. But many people do recommend me, saying that it's really intriguing and thrilling in many ways. I don't have any idea of what even the genre of this book is. I don't even know the name of the author, but this has been one of those books which has been recommended to me by many people. Okay, not just from my channel but also some of my friends in the real world who are my who are in very much personal contact with me. Everyone has recommended me to read this one, but I'm not sure if I'll ever read this. Let's just wait and see. Question number 11. A book on your TBR you're very excited to read. Also, it's a repeat answer, The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. This has been one of those books which has been intriguing me a lot to a great extent. Also, one of the other books which intrigues me a lot to be read by me. There's one which I physically own, and it is this illustrated edition of the Lost Symbol, the Da Vinci Code, which I very recently purchased from my Lock to Box sale from Bookstore. I'll try to link the unboxing up in the icon around the description so that you can check it out if you're interested. It's illustrated and it has a lot of photos and images of the things that are spoken about in the book. Usually I do like reading Dan Brown books because they are very well researched and very well intricately written in many ways. He doesn't even leave a single stone unturned, and it is a bit frustrating at times, but I've heard that the Da Vinci Code is his best novel out there. I'm very much interested to read it, and the fact that I have an illustrated copy of the book available right now just has bumped it up to a greater extent in my TBR right now. Let's just wait and see when I'm going to read it. The last question: the number of books on your Goodreads TBR shelf. I don't have a TBR shelf on Goodreads, but the number of books on my want to read shelf in Goodreads, it's 32. Okay, I don't like adding a lot of books on want to read my Goodreads shelf because it just confuses me a lot, and sometimes when I see huge numbers on want to read, it just triggers my anxiety and I'll not be able to read as much as I normally do. So 32 is the number. I think that itself is a bit too much for me when I look at it, but it's not that much anxiety inducing for me, so I kept it as such as of now. But I'm sure that I'll be adding some more books to that list pretty soon. Let's just wait and see how the number is going to increase in the future. And that's all for today. Don't forget to leave your answers in the comments below because I'd like to know them. And if you did enjoy watching today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel because I publish new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.